Good afternoon, Chris Brown from Morgans Financial on the second day of the Noosa Mining and Exploration Conference. And I'm here with Malcolm Norris, the Managing Director of Sunstone Minerals, the ASX listed code STM. Sunstone's exploring in Ecuador for large copper gold porphyries. Malcolm, can you tell us about the current program and the recent news coming out of your operation?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So we've got two projects in Ecuador, both gold copper porphyry targets. We've got 4 rigs operating across those two projects. So 3 drilling rigs in the south on Bramaderos and 1 drilling rig in the north at El Palmar. The news flow that's due to come from us over the next 6 months includes an initial mineral resource from Bramaderos from just one target of several. We'll also continue to release drill holes that are drilling some of those other targets outside of the resource. And at El Palmar, the aim there is to expand our known area of mineralisation and similarly test some of the anomalies that are outside of that initial area of drilling. So that'll all be delivered between now and the end of the year.
Malcolm, you mentioned the Bramaderos project. You don't have a resource yet, but perhaps you could give us some idea of the sorts of grades that you're getting in drilling at Bramaderos?
Yeah, so importantly, we've just completed an initial preliminary metallurgy at Bramaderos, and that has shown that there's no significant problems with the metallurgy, so that's encouraging. Obviously a key component to delivering a mineral resource. And the grades that we're seeing, we've presented in our recent announcement as a gold equivalent. And we've got a number of pods close to surface that are in excess of 0.8 grams gold equivalent. And again, that's important because we're identifying these higher grade pods close to surface, which when we start to contemplate development are a critical part to scheduling the better ore earlier on. And then there's a very large volume that is at a grade of greater than 0.3 grams of gold equivalent, which is a very typical cut-off grade for porphyry resource estimation.
And in the Bramaderos project, you've got 87.5%. You've got the El Palmar project in northern Ecuador. Again, what have you been drilling up there?
Yeah, so that just happens to be a gold copper porphyry as well. We're getting intersections in drill holes that are several hundred metres, so greater than 400 metres thick, that are running greater than 0.4 grams of gold and greater than 0.1 to 0.15 copper. And within that, we're seeing intervals that are greater than 100 metres thick of greater than 0.7 gold and about 0.2 copper. So there's some high-grade pods there as well. And importantly, this mineralisation at El Palmar is from surface and extending to a depth at this stage of 500 metres below surface.
And you can't talk about a gold equivalent there yet because you don't know the recoveries that you're going to get for the copper to add to the gold grade, but typically with gold copper porphyries you can get a fair idea, and I guess you've seen that down at Bramaderos, although this will no doubt be different, but they're grades that are mined at reasonable scale in large gold copper porphyries?
Yeah, they are. So, look, we can't publish gold equivalent numbers, but the recoveries that we expect at El Palmar will be similar to other porphyry deposits. So, that means that we're going to be seeing in excess of 0.6 grams of gold equivalent, we would assume, in a large resource. And that's quite similar to large porphyries. The ones we can quote, the Boda porphyry of Alkane, that's not yet in development, but they've recently released a 10 million ounce gold equivalent endowment. We've also got up the road the Cascabel project, which has Alpala and Tandayama America, similar grades, a bit more copper but a bit less gold. And then you look at things in Australia such as Cadia, similar grades to our large lower grade numbers. And then you look at Boddington, which is an interesting example in Western Australia, where the gold grade is 0.5 grams and the copper grade is, I think, 0.11 copper. So similar grades to what we're delivering, and our intersections are from surface.
And you're reasonably well financed for your next series of drilling programs?
Yeah, we are. We did a raising back in April, $20 million, primarily institutional funds coming on board. So our register is very healthy. We have no plans to raise money in the next 12 months. We've got just under $26 million in cash and equities. So it's a very exciting 12 months ahead of us. We've got a lot to do, a lot of work, but a lot of really good news.
Thanks, Malcolm. Sunstone Minerals exploring and finding gold and copper in large porphyries in Ecuador. Thanks very much.
Thank you.